Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, my lovelies, my beauties, my royalty. Oh, take a deep breath. Just in through the nose, all of the toxins, all of the hatred, all of the haters and the fake, no good, and don't forget, those that bigotry. Oh, there's bigotry all of. Oh, it's like they used to kind of be silent, but now they are obvious. So yeah, let all of that, and now, okay, now get ready to exhale. Exhale that hate away. You know because once you exhale the hate away, petty ideas start to form in your head. This is a petty ideas episode for political rights, for black rights, and everything like that. And yes, I'm going to talk more about disability rights and also women's rights. But yeah, us black people, we are at the bottom of the totem pole, the pyramid, and everything. When that no good, ridiculous Anna from the Young Turks, she is so ignorant. And even the host from the Young Turks, I think it's his nephew, he has said something like, I get his politics, but he is poorly educated and ignorant when it comes to the political atmosphere. Because like when people were talking about black people, he doesn't understand. And see, it's like this is why they need to teach African American history. And this is one reason why they are taking African American history from the books, because they don't want to teach Democrats, they don't want to teach people how to become free from the hatred and the awful treatment of this country. But it's like usually when you help black people at the bottom, it helps all the way up the pyramid. It helps everyone. And that's one reason why when blacks had the right to vote, when blacks were allowed to live in those houses, when blacks were allowed to own businesses and stuff, because remember, black people, right after the voting, like, we still couldn't really own the businesses, but they gave them to the Asians, but they gave it to the Middle Easterns. But then once we started to be able to get business loans, their business opportunities were increasing. They were starting to do better. So whenever we do better, they do better. But then a lot of them are so closed-minded, ignorant, dumb, stupid, poorly educated that they forgot this, and or they didn't care to teach their children this. So next thing you know, like the Asians, when they go to college, they're like, oh, we're black people are getting too many spots. Yeah, we want more of those spots because we're smarter, obviously. But that's because the colonizers brainwashed them with that stereotype, telling them that they are smarter, when actually, I've done research. If you know this, like, if not, go back to my earlier episodes. I'm going to do a whole, that's like, once politics calms down finally and we get this no good orange man out of office, I can start doing the really good nerdy stuff. But one reason why a lot of Asians are able to learn more is because of like the technological, like, just expansion of their language, how more extensive it is. English is one of the most simple languages. And it's like there are so many kids in Africa with very high IQs. And one reason is like they have, like, they're the technical or technicalities within their language. It's like I only took like one or two classes in linguistics, but after those classes, I started learning more. But even with the clicking, and there's like it's like a combination and stuff. And so, but with a lot of like Asian languages are more, common, especially within the Americas and stuff like that. But like with the drawing of, like, they don't have an alphabet, they have the drawing of words. And so it's again more extensive, and they're drawn in a certain order and things. And it's very artistic but technical at the same time. So, but anyways, go back, listen. I talk about it a little bit more like 2 years ago or whatever, I think it was. But so many people, like, put them on such a high pedestal, and it's just like, maybe do some research, maybe look into it. It's like they think that just because black people are not smart, but then one reason like African Americans struggled, especially in school, was we started off not being allowed to learn or read. Our people would be eliminated from this earth if we learned how to read. And then when we were allowed to read, we only allowed to read verses from the Bible that taught our ancestors that they should be appreciative of being good slaves. And they should know that, yeah, that's what they're supposed to be and how to treat their masters. And then it's like when, after the freedom and everything like that, they wanted to go to college, but they weren't allowed. See, so they wanted education, they wanted to go to school, they wanted to read, they had the ability, but no one would give them the resources to supply that ability. And so that's how we were built, the historically black in colleges and universities. Because, yeah, Harvard, my ancestors built. Princeton, like all of the elite ones where the Asians feel like they have seniority or because they feel like they're smarter than us, my ancestors took part in building those buildings. And maybe not personal, like maybe not straight from my family tree, but people from Africa, the people who fought, like went through the slave times, they did that work. And then, oh, Harvard didn't. They hired people to do the research on that. Oh, but they didn't know. Like, see, and they hired black people. They don't know about. That's why they don't like us, and that's why they're trying to take away our history. Because especially with the 1619 project and everything like that, with DEI and all the research and stuff like that, oh, they don't like us because we do too of a good job with the research and stuff. Yeah, they don't like us because they were doing such an amazing job and they were digging deep into the family trees and talking to the ancestors and things like that and getting information that even Harvard did not expect. They fired the whole team. If you don't know about it, you need to. I think this happened just a couple months ago. Yeah, go look it up. It's interesting. This is really recent, and I wonder why they stopped them. But yeah, going to be doing a lot when it comes to race, especially with how naive, ignorant, and poorly educated Anna just proved she is from the Young Turks. She's Anna Kasparian. Yeah. Oh, and yeah. It's like I have a list of people, but I've talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert a few times. I should more because it's really entertaining how Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of a sudden I hear she left the country. But now I'm wondering, did she go to the same country as that one wannabe boxer, but he'll only box people twice his age and kind of not as well, yeah, basically the lower of the pyramid because that's all he's able to go against. Yeah. And then he'll start businesses but with really poor quality items and stuff. Because yeah, even look at that deodorant when he was yeah. He wasn't sure on that one. Yeah. Anyway, okay. But so politics are messy and I'm Patty and I just have to acknowledge and say that there's some good ideas floating around on the web, and it is, D.L. Hughley especially. Because D.L. Hughley, he started an idea, and I'm like, oh, let's get deeper, let's get more petty. So I'm gonna see like throughout the next few months, especially before college starts, I want to decide how can we be the most of pettiness because we have to be so petty now. It's like they yeah. When Mrs. Obama said, "When they go low, we go hot." Now I'm sorry, Mrs. Obama. I'm sorry, but we we're at the point we're about to lose our rights. They're about to and they're doing it to the point where they might as well say hi to the devil. They might as well say hi to the devil. Like, it's like they say they're not racist while they're doing racist things, while they're smiling in our faces and laughing at the point where they know exactly what they're doing. And then they say that they're not racist, but the Supreme Court literally said that people can get pulled over based off the color of their skin, and then they take our right to vote, but then they say they're not racist. Hmm. And then even with ICE and with our police, they want to arrest black women for having miscarriages and things like that. So now some women, they don't even want to admit or go to the doctors. It's like they just say, "Oh, if I get pregnant, hey, I'm staying home. I'll risk it, whatever." Because if something happens to me, they are not arresting me. That's where we are in this country. You have women scared. You have black people scared. And yeah, I want to say people of color, but so a lot of these people voted for this. They're gonna lie and like whine and, oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't know this was gonna happen. Remember that guy who's like he'd rather vote for Satan than vote for Kamala? Well, guess what? You did just that. Congratulations. Congratulations. But okay, let's get petty. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. I'm gonna have a lot more photos up, but I already have tons of evidence that prove what I'm talking about right now because I already knew how racist, how stupid and ignorant and poorly educated and vile a lot of these no good white bigoted men, colonizing men are. I knew this. But people, yeah, of course, they're gonna ignore, like, yeah, because Anna wanted to make sure she mentioned the disabled black women. That's one reason I'm going to drag her mentally as much as I humanly want. And I might even have her as a character in one of my books. I am that petty. I am that petty. Because once you do that, once you went there, I'm like, oh, little girl, you want to go there? Let's go there. Oh, you want to match petty? Get ready. Because, okay, DL Hughley, his great and amazing idea for all of our star black players. It's like, I mean, oh, if you a white player too, I mean, I mean, not many of you, like, if you think you're invited to the barbecue, if you really think you down with us, but some pretend they are. So I would really say, dig deep into your politics and think about that. Really think about that. But especially my black guys, my black men. I mean, a lot of a lot of you black men said voting was a waste of time. A lot of you black men kept well, I'll say a lot of y'all uncles and fathers were telling me voting was stupid. And they said that they told me as a black woman it's not ladylike and I shouldn't be caring about politics and it's stupid for a woman to care about politics. So one thing I'm going to ask for my black men who are going to be going into some of these college football teams, politically, think about what you're doing. Are you going to help the same states that are taking away your rights? What are you going to do? Are you going to fight? Because this is a time to fight. This is a time while you get that degree, you take a stand. But I mean, if you don't care about us, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. In my opinion, John James, did he play? No, I don't think he played, but I mean, I'm trying to think of, well, there's that one creepy guy. He talked about vampires and movies and stuff like that. And I think he cheated on he had like random children. And he claims he keeps forgetting about or whatever. And then he has that one son, he's LGBTQ, which I have no problem with, but he's a Republican, but he's the ignorant, awful, vile type, in my opinion. But yeah, it's like, yo, yeah, he's an athlete. Like, yeah, don't be one of, don't be like, no, no. If you can try to be like the opposite of him, like the 180, yeah, yeah, And actually, like, yeah, if you impregnate a woman, remember it. Like if you need an IO, like not an IOU, if you need like a ribbon around your finger to remind you, you know, yeah. If you need that, maybe we even need them made like rings with a little ribbon on them, so they can remember. Remember, you got a baby. Remember, you got a child. Because I feel like sometimes, like with a lot of the men that I've met, it's really crazy how, like, yeah, sometimes they all of a sudden they forgot they had a child. But let's go deeper. Because, you know who athletes love, right? hot women. And so all of my 8 through 10s, my ladies, yeah, go, please, you know, go to the Democrat state schools. Go to the blue schools, please. Yeah, because athletes want to go where the hot girls are. And so if they're going to choose the red state schools, yeah. Yeah, you know, yeah, I'm not going to say too much further into that, but yeah, if you're an 8, a 9 or a 10, go to the Democrat schools. It's like show how beautiful your mind and heart are. Like, yeah, show that you have a heart. Yeah. Show that your voting counts in a state that cares about you, you know. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. But what else can we do? Because oh yeah, from now on, I'm probably gonna have a create just a whole petty series of like what can we do to make sure that these states like they find out. Because one thing that I really want to do more, because I know there are some places that celebrate black small businesses, but now I want to take it even deeper because with a like there is that one app. I forgot what it's called. I mentioned it in an episode, but I forgot. I'll look it up. But it points out only Republican loving small businesses. But then they didn't realize that all the blue like all the liberal Democrats left leaning people can just go on the app and that would help them make sure that they never shopped at their business because they didn't know that you can do it in reverse. And so I feel like we need to do that again. But it's like even I probably need to add that to my website, like a list of all the businesses we should all go to and all the ones we shouldn't go to. And I need to start looking for the fast food places that support liberal, that support left leaning, because most of them are orange man, MAGA, Republican, bigoted owners and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like I really want to it's like because I feel like just like with Target, if we can start with McDonald's, it's like, and I know that's the hardest one because it's the most populated, but like price wise and pay wise, they don't care about us anyway. I can't stand Chick-fil-A, but a lot of people, yeah, that's a different subject. And that'll be, but yeah, my first targets would be McDonald's and then either Wendy's or Taco Bell. It's like I'm trying to remember the exact order of who donated more money to the Orange Man, but I would say that specific order. But yeah, I want to look more into what fast food companies are left leaning because then we can ask for those companies to be in the state, start buying from those companies and things. But, and also look for fast food places that are not just giving us poisons because in other countries their food is so much better and healthier. So in other countries, when people are interviewing them, what do you know about America? And they just say fat people, obese people, unhealthy people. But it's like our top disease that we die from is heart disease. So yeah, yeah. But it's really odd because a lot of people are heartless in this country. So how is that the most common reason? Or maybe it's because their hearts malfunction, and since they don't love or they don't care about anybody else, maybe that like, hey, you never know. But how else can we be petty? What else do we need to do to make sure that we are fighting back? Because Joy Reid said it. It's like we have protested enough to the point where now every time we protest, they say we're rioting, you know? And now that I'm thinking, like, even with the vending machines, what snacks are Like maybe we need to look at even at black owned snacks. And it's like if you have a small business or something like that, fill it up with black owned, like the potato chips and things like that. And it's like, or even blue state owned, like, or well, first make sure, because California, they have an interesting mix, but it's like if you can find left leaning companies with snacks and stuff. There was one company that I really want to order their stuff, but you can't, and they're only in, like, you can only get their product from their one state. I want to say it's Georgia, and they have some amazing sounding flavors too. I want to say it's Georgia, but it's like their music theme, or it's like African American theme, but some of them are like musically, like like the ambiance and stuff like that. Really cool, really amazing. If any of you guys know what I'm talking about, I'll look it up. If I can find it, I'll put the website. So then people will know, like, yeah, maybe I can try to see if I can get them in my vending machine. Because I mean, that will help them get more money. Maybe that will show grocery stores, hey, we might want this product at our store. It's like people like it. Let's look it up. So, location, location. So, but how else can we be, Patty? Because fashion designers. Yeah, because, oh yeah, with one of my last episodes, I showed actively black. I plan on getting some of their clothing too. And that's probably going to end up being birthday and Christmas gifts. Yeah, my family doesn't watch this anyway, so they don't even know or care. But yeah, trust me, they don't care. Because yeah, I'm going to be talking about them. So I love them, but who? You guys know about family, right? You guys know about family. But what else? What else? Because, okay, fashion and then food, fast food, and stuff like that. And I want to say makeup and things, but I mean, yeah, we have so many, especially we have a lot of celebrities starting their own hair care products and things like that. But it's like where, especially what colleges and universities, how do they even feel about the Crown Act? It's like I haven't heard much about it because I know in high school they can control that, but in college, do they? Do they try? It's like I'm years from it, so I wouldn't know. And but yeah, I think that those are like the biggest highlights. And I know, especially with Generation Z, like many of the white, able-bodied, colonizing men, they're cheering on what's going on right now. They act like there is no racism, or they think that black people are just exaggerating or making it up, or oh yeah, okay, I'm about to be petty here, because when I was teaching at that mm, clearly a mistake university, yeah, do you know how ignorant so many of those students are? All of the people that went through desegregation are dead. I had a student say that, and all of his classmates were nodding. And so then I'm like, well, my mom did pass away from cancer a couple years ago, but my dad is at home breathing, or do I need to call him to make sure he's still alive? And then I said, your grandparents, if not your parents, but I said more than likely your grandparents. That's, congratulations. But they went through segregation and desegregation. Come on now. It's like, are we that dense? Are we that dumb? Are we that, like, really? This is how ignorant Generation Z is. I'm not saying all Generation Z, but if that hurt you, I might be talking about you. That's how ignorant some of you guys are. And I'm just like, are you serious? You don't, it's like, and then when I talked even some of the things about businesses, and then like with the product and the design and stuff. Like so many times, like if we were talking about a product that was by a different culture and things like that, they would literally be trying to colonize it and try to just, oh, well, it's probably too spicy and blah, 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 blah. Spicy for who? It's like, and if it's too spicy for a certain demographic, maybe they're not part of the demographic. Oh no, well, they should make it for everybody. What's the first thing that I taught you day one? Everybody's not your demographic. So if this is going to be spicy for even someone like you, you're probably not part of their demographic in the first place. Well, if they're trying to leave me out on purpose, that's not fair. So every product should cater to you personally. I actually had someone like, yeah. Usually, like, I usually have at least one student like this in each class, and they're usually always a lot like, oh, like Anna said, a lighter complexion. Stupid idiot. But yeah, yeah. The lighter complexions, I usually get that from where they feel like if a product doesn't include them, then that product should not exist. And if I show them a business with an owner who's not white, then that person they drill like, how did they start the business? What are their numbers? How, and it's like, oh yeah, how do they, like, I don't think they got their numbers right. Oh, I don't think they are profiting well. And it's like, no, they're gonna go out of business so quickly and this and that. And I'm just like, why are you saying all of this? Where are you getting this from? You don't even have the proper information. Well, you know how they start their businesses. So one time they were talking about a Middle Eastern company, and they were like, oh, well, we know they probably have family that's in the oil. We know that they probably like have a gas station or two. We know that they probably blah 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 blah. And so many stereotypes. And at the end of the day, I'm like, don't your family members own a business? Did your family start their business because of oil? He got offended. He was like, how dare you? And I'm just like, I'm just throwing the same exact questions, the same ignorant question. Like, because if he didn't or if he did, he's still like, some people, they start one business and then they start another stream of business and use the money from the first business to supply for the second business. And that's partially what I'm trying to do right now. It's like multi-stream income, which is fantastic way of doing things. When I teach about that in my classes, do you know how many colonizing lighter students tell me that is stupid, that is dumb, and that I should just focus on one thing, or that a business owner should just focus on one thing? But then during COVID, it proved me, ooh, it was like chef's kiss. Do you know how many businesses went out of business and they did, and lo and behold, some like journalists were looking deeper, and so many went out of business because they only had one stream of income and they didn't have a backup plan, and they didn't have a multi-stream of how to, like, be able to sell their products and services to the consumers. Exactly what I teach. And so while a lot of the colonizing lighter tone students were trying to tell me that I'm dumb and stupid for even though I was giving them the articles, showing them the video, showing them the proof and the evidence. No, no, no. If it doesn't include them, it can't be true. If they're not involved in every single thing, no, it cannot exist. But so many people in this country say racism is over with, that there's no more racism to begin with, that since people aren't allowed to say the N word, it must not be true. And there was one student, why in the world would I need to know about African American history when I'm not African or African American? And so then I was like, so why in the world do I need to learn about colonizing or colonizer history, and I'm not colonizer? He was pissed, and I was smiling through the whole thing. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.